Today on our 2017 Freightliner Chassis motorhome, we're going to be taking a look at and installing the Roadmaster second motorhome monitor and alarm kit, part number RM-98850. Here's what the monitor kit looks like once it's installed on the motorhome. We've got the light conveniently mounted in the dash here, and that's going to light up anytime that the brakes in the towed vehicle are applied. Now what's nice about that is sometimes with the supplemental braking systems installed on the towed vehicles, it can be hard to see the indicator light that's on the dash or on the back of the rear view mirror because of either bright sunlight or because of the angle of the camera on the back of your motorhome. But with the light up here, it's nice and easy to see, and you'll never miss that light being on. So you'll always know if the brakes are active or not on your towed vehicle. And then mounted just up underneath the dash here is the audio alarm unit that's going to go off after the brakes have been applied in the towed vehicle for about 10 seconds. Just wants to alert you to make sure that you know they've been on for a while, and hopefully that doesn't mean that they're locked up. Here's everything that's going to come in our kit. We've got our wiring, which is 50 feet long, and that's going to allow us to run anything from the rear of the motorhome all the way to the front to make sure that that power can get transferred. But on this particular one, we're actually not going to be using this because this customer, they're not going to be using their motorhome for towing a trailer at any point, so we're going to be able to use the existing wiring in the vehicle for the electric brake controller. Then we've got some zip ties that'll help tie down any of the wiring, such as this or this. And here we've got a little red LED light that's going to indicate that the brakes are active. That's going to go into the dash of the motorhome. And here's the little audio unit that's going to make a sound once the brakes on the towed vehicle have been active for a little while. We've got the sticker that goes around the light just to let you know that that's what that light is on for. We've got a little speed nut that helps secure the light into the dash, and then a couple butt connectors. Now, let's show you how this kit is installed. Now with the setup we've got here, the towed vehicle already has the signal wire for the brakes running into the 6-pole connector that's on the front of it. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to use the electric brake circuit that's in our 7-way that runs up to the brake controller plug, and we'll be able to tap in underneath, so that way we don't have to add any wiring to the vehicle, but we'll be able to use the wiring that's already there. We're going to need to find where we want to mount the light. Now on this particular one, we're going to mount the light up here because right there it's going to be easily visible in the peripheral vision, and it's higher up on the dash, so that makes it easier to see than if we put it down lower. It could be hidden behind the steering wheel. So we're going to mount it in this open area right up here. Now we'll need to drill out our hole to the size indicated in the instructions, and you want to make sure that wherever you decide to mount your light, that when you drill, there's nothing behind there that you could potentially damage, like wiring. Let's start with a pilot hole, and then I'll drill it out to the size indicated in the instructions. Then I can clean up all the debris. Now we'll install our light into the dash, and if you'd like, you can put this little tag and stick it on there, and there's a hole in the center that'll punch out so that your light will come up through the middle, and this just tells you that when your brakes are on is when this is going to be lit up. But that's optional if you'd like to, if you know that that's what this light's for. Now because space is tight underneath the dash, it's going to be hard showing me installing this, but this is what they call a little speed nut. You can see how it's bowed. So the open face of that bow is going to go up. You're going to push it up over that light, and that's going to help clamp this into the dash and hold it there, make sure it doesn't pull out through the front of the dash. Once I've got my LED light installed in the dash, what I'll be doing is taking the wires that go to the audio unit, and I'll be matching up white to white and red to red and twisting them together, so then I can install this yellow butt connector onto the ends of the two red ones, the blue butt connector that comes in the kit onto the ends of the white ones. So then the white ones will be the ground wires and the red ones will be the power wires, and these red ones will be receiving power through that brake controller wire coming from the back. Put the light in, you just take the two wires and feed them down through the dash, and then push the body of the light down through until that silver collar is flush and against the face of the dash. And there I've connected the blue and yellow butt connectors to the red wires and the white wires, and then I'll be able to connect the other end to the wires that I'll be using. The power wire for the red and an extra ground wire for the white. For the ground wire, I'm going to need a little bit of extra wiring. You can get some on our site, part number DW02359-1. And I'm also going to be using a ring terminal, which you can also get on our site, part number DW05702-1. Now, since we're going to be using the existing output wire for the electric brakes, we'll need to locate that connector, and it's tucked right up here behind the dash, and it's just got a plug in the end of it, so you need to push down on the little tab, and then you can pull it apart and take that little plug off of there. So then what we need to do is you'll need to find which wire is the brake output wire, and on this one it's the large red wire with the white stripe going down the side. It's our brake output wire. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get that one separated just a little bit, and in order to do that we'll just open up this wire loom a little bit by cutting through the tape that's around the end of it, and then that large red and white wire, we can clip it right here towards the end, so we've got as much to work with as we can. Then once we've got it separated there, we'll need to strip the end of that back. So now what we'll do is take that end and install it into the open end of the yellow butt connector that's connected to our red wires on the light and audio unit. Now I connected the red with white wire to the other red wires, but the distance was a little bit too short, so I got some of that same type of wire that I grabbed earlier, and I also had to add one more butt connector. Now I've got my extra white wire connected up at the blue butt connector that goes to the other two white ground wires. So what I'll do now is I'll strip the end of this back and install that ring terminal. Then I can go back underneath the dash and find a good spot to mount this. The final thing that we need to do before we can test our system is make sure that all our wiring and the audio unit are secured up out of the way using the zip ties provided in the kit. Now that we've got everything installed, we can hook our vehicle up to our motorhome, and then we'll pull the breakaway switch to test the system and make sure that it's activating inside the RV. When we pull the breakaway switch, you'll see this red LED light comes on, and then when the brakes stay applied for about 10 seconds, you'll hear the alarm. And that's going to complete our look at and installation of the Roadmaster second motorhome monitor and alarm kit, part number RM-98850, on our 2017 Freightliner Chassis motorhome.
Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.